The casting director can see you, and they are watching everything. They are watching the background. So if in your virtual take, you have your pillowcases and they can just see everything. It is distracting.
Hi, I'm Alex DeLerma, and this is the Cinema Gym. The Cinema Gym is all about helping you transition from the stage to the screen. Angelica Amor.
Alex
Look.
DeLerma.
Welcome to the virtual Cinema Gym.
Man, I love it.
So I wanted to talk about virtual auditioning because this is being recorded during the pandemic. And who knows how it's going to affect auditioning later. Maybe there'll be casting directors or producers that will say, hey, we'll save money or time if we do a Zoom callback or a producer session on Zoom.
Yeah.
As an actor, I would find that very unnerving because
is.
you can't read the room.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about virtual auditioning, which is different than putting yourself on tape.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Oh, yeah. And the difference is on tape, you kind of control, of course, self-tapes, you control how your takes go. You can cut, edit it the way you want, send it in.
Do 50 takes.
And that's it. Exactly. The difference with the virtual that I found, virtual casting, is the casting director can see you and they are watching everything. They are watching the background. So if in your virtual take, you have your pillowcases and they can just see everything, it is distracting. And they notice a little bit more of everything. They kind of get a little sense of who you are as well.
They're in your space.
They're in your space without being in your space. And the connection is a lot harder to get. It's harder to connect with somebody virtually that way.
Right.
There is no reading the room. But yeah, it is unnerving and it is a little bit more frustrating. How do you navigate having this conversation that we're having, but you're just a screen instead? Right.
Have you had any auditions? You have?
Yes.
Virtual auditions during the...
I've had virtual auditions and with casting directors. And, you know, the weird thing is the auditions that I've had, it's not just one person. It's more than one person. So there's actually a meeting. There's the casting director. Then there's the reader. And then, because the casting director isn't reading, it's just weird. However they set it up, they decide who gets to see you. But I don't get just one screen with one person. So when I'm looking at it, there's this person. There could be like 5 different people.
So it's a Brady Bunch type of setup. And so you can see, oh, maybe the writer's there or maybe the director or whoever happens to be there. So traditionally, I mean, for audition, not all auditions, but let's say for television, there's the initial read, there's the callback, and then there's the producer session. Although sometimes they'll say, you're going straight to producer.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot, they're changing. But, so what are you doing with like a callback? And if they're doing a chemistry read during the callback? Oh. Have you encountered that yet?
I haven't encountered that, but I have heard through different people, some other actors that I've talked to. One of the actors, Yellowstone's a new show that's out, Paramount.
Right. Kevin Costner.
Yeah. So one of my friends just got booked for a guest star role for season 3. Great opportunity. Wonderful. But they had only one chance to convince the producers, writers, everyone that he was solid, good to go. He had to do a tape, a self-tape. And then the same day he sent the self-tape in, I guess they were trying to cut through it quickly. And so I guess he did like a Zoom meeting that same day or maybe possibly the next day. And within maybe a few days, they were like, okay, you're it. That's all we needed to see. Thank you. You're going to be on set. And it's just quick. The turnaround was very quick. He didn't ever get to go into a room. And so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought this would be important to talk about because it might go on beyond the pandemic.
Yeah.
People might say, hey, you know what? Maybe we're going to see more actors. It'll save more time, maybe save us some money if we continue to do the Zoom approach to casting, which is terrible for the actor, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
The reason I'm saying this is because for a chemistry read, typically, you're going to have both actors together.
Yeah.
And they would be allowed to touch. They would be allowed to caress each other.
And even with the reader, depending on how they deliver the lines in the room, and you can kind of work off of that.
Even that, right.
It is. And I know it's a reader in person is going to be different than a reader that you see on a screen virtually. So that's always different. I do think that, and this just goes back with technique and just kind of doing the work, because I think there's a lot to say about for doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
You do the work and you get connected to that character emotionally. I still believe that everything will kind of follow. So if you do the work,
Yes,
it will help and propel that.
Yes.
Obviously, it's going to be difficult, and
Yes.
obviously, there's that technical aspect of it, having to know like the eye lines, and it's different.
Right.
So
that's a great thing. The only thing that you can count on is the work. And if there's an actor who's watching who's an entry-level actor, and that simply means whatever your process is, because your process changes over the years. Hopefully it does, and gets better. You evolve, you find quicker ways to work, ways to be more in depth. But that's great. The work is your safety net.
Yeah.
I would say because during the pandemic, obviously, I've shut down the classes in Los Angeles. It's considered non-essential business. So all my coaching for auditions has been through FaceTime or Zoom. And one of the things I've noticed with the actors I've been coaching, and I'm repeating this now so that somebody watching this can take this to heart, is because we're not in the same room, I have noticed that the person I'm coaching who's 20 miles away is projecting a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
There's this weird thing that happens even though we know there's a microphone on our computer or our phones. We know that we can be intimate and we can just lean in and we can be natural, right?
Exactly.
But there's this projecting that's happening, and I even caught myself doing it. From the very first time I did it, I went, oh, it's almost like I'm back on the stage again, and my instinct, my muscle memory is fill the space. Well, now I've got somebody who's not even there, and I'm sort of filling that space unconsciously.
It's interesting that you say that, because I did a workshop with a casting director, and he gave us scenes. We did the scenes, and basically the workshop was we had to do the scenes in front of him then and there, like a cold read.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting because he called me out on that. He called me out on projecting, and he was just like, you are really pushing, just period. You're just pushing and you're projecting, but scale it back a little bit, like feel that, just take your time. And that's the thing that he said that really stuck with me, was just to take your time with the lines and how you communicate, and just don't forget. And
how many people were in the room?
Ooh, there were about 12 people that were taking the workshop. So
it's great that you're mentioning this. And even if you didn't have a theater background, and my memory is that you do from studying in college, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Right,
I started theater.
Theater degree, right. That you develop that muscle memory of filling the space. Mm-hmm. And even if you didn't train in the theater, it just naturally, as humans, we fill the space. Oh, there's 12 people here. So I'm going to be, maybe,
bigger,
pushing the voice out a little bit more, playing out to them unconsciously.
Yeah.
So it's something for actors to remember. And it is one of those differences between acting for stage and acting for camera. And a lot of people think, oh, big deal. You just tell yourself, don't do that. It's hard to turn that off. And I really want to push that forward so people understand that, muscle memory. Just be aware. And
that's what I think on the virtual auditions and casting workshop and all of these things is you have so many people, they're so small, and you want to be able to like make it this big performance, when less is more. And I've learned that less is more. Do your work. Less is more. Just connect.
That's a good way to end it. Less is more.
Less is more.
Thanks for visiting the Cinema Gym. If these videos are helping you and you want to see some more, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's keep this thing going. If you're interested in classes, seminars, or private coaching, you can visit the website. Hope to see you in the gym soon.
TheCinemaGym.com for virtual one-on-one coaching for camera.